We are about an hour away from the crowd starting to pour onto Roosevelt Island for Hillary Clinton's launch rally just across the East River from where we're sitting right now. Clinton making her first appearance on the big stage this campaign, the first official event of her campaign, the first official major event. As Hillary gets set to take the stage this morning, her competitors for the Democratic nomination are already hot on the campaign trail. One of those challengers joining us right now, presidential candidate and former governor and senator from Rhode Island, Lincoln Chafee, and he joins us this morning from Providence. Good morning, Governor Chafee. Thanks for taking a few minutes. So we're sitting here getting ready for this big Hillary Clinton rally, and we're talking a lot about the position she's taken in recent weeks, in recent months leading up to this today, that bring her in a lot of ways closer to the Democratic base on issues like immigration, on issues like voting rights, on issues like sentencing reform. So you're running against her in the Democratic primary. Where do you see her? Where do you see the opening? What is the case for you to make to voters and say everything she's offering is not enough? What's different about Lincoln Chafee?
Well, the big question, I would say, is that here is a chance for her to say whether she's for or against President Obama's Trans-Pacific Partnership. And she's been silent on that. She's been hiding on this issue. So you mentioned she's been coming out on a number of other issues, but been completely silent on this big issue of the day.
What is your position on
I'm in favor.
What is your position on the TPP?
I'm in favor. I'm with President Obama on this. And a trade is going to happen. Let's set the rules on the environment, on labor, on currency manipulation, on intellectual property abuses. So I'm in favor of what President Obama is trying to do. And Secretary Clinton's been very silent on this. So maybe at this rally she'll tell the people how she feels.
I wonder, too, about, we talked about this in the last block, the president this week, it was reported yesterday in the New York Times and elsewhere, obviously, more troops, more American troops now in Iraq. They're not calling them boots on the ground, but what we're talking about are more American troops, another American base being built, another sign of a longer-term U.S. presence there. The administration trying to say this is very modest, this is about sort of trying to preserve order there. What is your view of the idea of creating another American base and sending a couple hundred more American troops there to work with the locals?
Well, the key question here is the question that General Petraeus asked during the invasion back in 2003, 12 years ago. And things were going well, but he turned to a reporter and he said, "Tell me how this ends." And that's the same question. Tell me how this ends. Here we are 12 years later, and there's no exit strategy, there's no planning for how we end this. And I'm opposed to more escalation in the region unless we have that exit strategy. Tell us how this ends. And I would say, as I said in my announcement speech, this has to be an international effort with the Saudis and with the Iranians, with the Israelis, with the Jordanians, with the Turks, the Egyptians, Europeans, Russians, all of us getting together and trying to have an exit strategy here. Let's end the conflict here in the Middle East instead of escalating it.
And Governor, I want to ask you something about your campaign here. If you look at the state of Rhode Island right now, the Democratic Party in Rhode Island, I took a look. The two U.S. senators both endorsing Hillary Clinton. The two Democratic members of Congress both endorsing Hillary Clinton. The governor of the state, a Democrat, Gina Raimondo, endorsing Hillary Clinton. Your hometown newspaper, the Providence Journal, had this blistering editorial about you when you announced your candidacy. They said that Mr. Chafee, a Republican turned independent,
turned
Democrat.
Right. Well, the same thing's true. The same thing's true, Steve. The same thing's true with Senator Sanders. The same thing's true with Senator Sanders. The establishment's all lining up with Secretary Clinton. But I'd like to say about my record as governor, over my 4 years, we had one of the best drops in unemployment of any of the states in the country over my budgets, which are still, my budget's still in effect. We had one of the best drops in unemployment of any of the states in the country, and we implemented the Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act, one of the best in the country here in Rhode Island. So I'm very proud of my record as governor. I have some critics that take their shots, but they're not accurate. The criticism's not accurate. I had a good tenure as governor.
All right, Governor, sit tight if you will for 1 second. We want to squeeze a quick break in here, get one more question in.